Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to this stress and anxiety relieving class. Before we start moving our body, I want you to just take a moment to bring your hands together. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to just take a deep breath in and an exhale out, and another deep breath in and out. I want you to keep taking these deep breaths in and out. And we're going to take a minute, just a moment, to focus on why we're actually here. Why we as souls have decided to come and take this journey as a human. When we can come back to who we truly are, we can start to relieve any sort of stress and anxiety. The purpose of why we are here is to simply be and to enjoy and experience all the wonderful gifts that our life can bring us if we choose to see them in a way, in a light that is serving us to grow and expand and to be more loving and more caring within ourselves and also with others. If you're not already there, come into a comfortable kneeling position, sitting up nice and tall. Take another deep breath in, dropping your head and rolling to one side. Take a deep breath in. On the inhale, I want you to open up your shoulders, lift your head up, and then a nice big circle to the other side. Lift your chin up and then roll your shoulders back. Tuck the chin in to the other side, roll the shoulders back, and again, tipping your head forward, roll the shoulders back. Beautiful. Bring your arms into prayer. Bring your hands together, your elbows together, just doing a little squeeze. Good, and then open them up into cactus. Taking a deep breath in. Maybe closing your eyes, visualizing a beautiful white light coming in towards your heart space. Good. Nice. Float your hands down. Get onto your knees at the back of your mat. We're going to float down into our child's pose. Taking a deep breath in. All we're doing here is reaching our fingertips to the top of the mat. You can bring your knees out as far as you want. And just take a couple breaths in and out, resting your forehead on the mat. Good, and then slowly coming up into tabletop position. Keep your head tucked down so our knees are to the outer edges of our mat. We're going right into our cat pose. So we're curving the spine, bringing the belly button in, and then drop the head. And then we're going to create a little bit of movement here where we're swaying from side to side. If you have a fun pony, go ahead. Just really loose. We're going from one side to the other. This might seem weird, but we're shaking, we're moving our hips slightly. Good. And then drop the belly and look up. Good. Bring your knees to touch. So now your knees are touching and then you're sitting back. And then we're going to lift ourselves forward. Bring your fingertips almost to the very top of the mat. And then just come as forward as much as you can. And then scoop the hips back. Sit back onto your heels. Drop your head. And then walking your fingertips forward. Drop your hips as low as they'll go. And back. So as we're doing this, we're strengthening the legs as we come up. And then when we drop the hips, you could do a little bend in your arms. And then when you come up, you're almost bringing your core in, you're squeezing your glutes, pushing your hands back. Nice, good. Try that one more time. Scooting ourselves forward. We're almost in our tabletop. Our knees are together. We're dropping our hips down. We have a little micro bend in the elbows, and then scoot back up into your child's pose. Good. Take a deep breath in. Come back up into your tabletop position. Bring your knees a little bit further out. Flip your toes and engage the core just by lifting the knees a couple inches off the mat, squeezing the glutes in. Squeezing the tummy in. Let your head drop. And then lower the knees. Good. Bring your knees together once more. Pick up your feet. Take both feet over towards the left side and then sink down. So what we're doing here is we're creating a stretch over on the right side. Maybe you're resting on your left knee, left leg, and then slowly come up. Then lift your feet, bring them over to the right side and sit down. So our hands are still pointed to the top of the mat like we would in our child's pose. Only this time we're feeling a little bit of stretch over on the left side of the body. Good. And then come back up to center. Deep breath in, reaching the arms up. Good. And then floating the hands down. Sit down onto one side and bring your toes forward, your feet forward. Good. Into our seated forward fold. So in the seated forward fold, we're going to do a little micro bend in the knees. We're going to come as far as we can, and we're just going to drop our head. We're pulling our belly. So what we want is we want our lower body to be hitting our legs, dropping your head. We're going to rock from side to side again. These are just little movements as we breathe. We're just in the warm up, side to side, pulling our body in. Good. And now what we could do is bring our right foot in slightly and extend your left foot. So we're bringing the right foot in, pulling our body towards the top of the mat, and then switch. Bring your left foot in, then straighten your right foot, pull your body in. Good. And again, bringing your right foot in, left foot out, pulling your body towards the top of the mat, giving ourselves a deep hamstring stretch. And other side. Right leg goes straight, left leg is bent. Pull yourself in. We're holding on to both of our toes. Good. And then bring both feet in together. Ankles are together, toes are together. Sit up nice and tall. Let's do a little bounce with the knees, just slightly. Good. Then bring your feet to the outside of the mat, and you can bring your fingers either pointed towards the mat or the side, lifting our hips up, reverse tabletop. And then we're going to bring our hips back down, only we're just going to straighten the legs. We're going to hover the hips, and then flat feet onto the mat, lifting up. And then lower the hips down, but not touching. We're just sort of skimming. Our hips are maybe an inch or two off the mat. We flex our toes up towards the ceiling, flex our feet. And again, placing our feet on the mat, slowly lifting up, squeezing the glutes. Don't drop your head, just look up straight. And then exhale slowly, we're lowering the hips, and then we're letting the hips hover as we straighten the legs, toes go pointed towards the ceiling. We're hovering. Good. Lift. And then let's sit down. Bring your toes together and rolling all the way down to our mat. Head to toe stretch. Grabbing your knees, giving yourself a hug. Rock from side to side. Feeling your body, your physical body. Good. And we're going to roll ourselves up by pointing your toes, and you can bring your legs back and then come all the way up. Roll down again. Roll down. Good. Good. Now we're going to roll up into our shoulder stand. So lifting up, grab underneath, lifting your toes pointed towards the ceiling. Get comfortable here. Good, and then slowly you can make your way down. I find it easier to drop my knees and then roll all the way down, reaching my arms over my head. Good, float your hands all the way down to your side. Lift up for a bridge, so our feet are flat on the mat, pushing our hips all the way up. Hold here. Good, and lower your hips down. Bring your right ankle to your left knee, lifting your left foot up, opening up the right hip, pulling in the left knee towards your body. Good. Back is flat. Lower the left foot. Let's switch the sides. Left ankle over right knee, lifting up your right foot off of the mat. You could bring both hands behind your right knee, or you could take your left hand and push your left knee out to the side. Good. Bring yourself together. Another little stretch over the head. Place your feet down, little twist, drop both knees over towards the right, look over your left. Bring your knees up nice and tight, then let both knees fall over towards the left and look over the right. Good, bring your knees together, you can roll yourself up any way you'd like, cross your legs, feed yourself through, come into that tabletop position once more, extending your right leg out, toes pointed in, taking a deep breath. Good, bending the left knee, and then trying to kick the right foot up towards the ceiling as you squeeze the right glute. We're just holding here and breathing. Holding. With intensity, we're kicking the right foot up. Good, and then slowly lower down. And again, extending the left side this time, so the left foot goes out, left toes are pointed in, tuck the belly in, and then bending the left knee, and then try to lift it. Lift it as much as you can by squeezing the left glute and the core, and just hold this position. Good, lower the left knee, come on your toes, and we're gonna come up to our first downward facing dog. So get there however you'd like, with bent knees maybe. And then once you're here, you can either be still in this position, in this posture, and just let your heels get heavier and heavier and sink down as you stretch your hamstrings. Or you can create movement, a sway from side to side. Still breathing, maybe closing your eyes. Let your hips go high. Let your heels be heavy. Push your fingertips into the mat. Good. Now roll your body forward into your high plank. When you're in your high plank, then hold. Little micro bend in the elbows. I tend to overextend. Breathe again. Good, and then hips go all the way up, downward facing dog. And then lift your right leg up, three-legged dog. Good, and then bend the left knee, open up the hip. Hold this position. Just feeling the left knee get higher and higher. the right heel getting heavier and heavier. Good, and then we're gonna sweep the left foot to the outer edge of the left side of the mat. And then we have both hands over towards the right side of our foot. Good. So we're in our runner's lunge, only we have both of our hands on the inside and our left foot on the out. We're just sinking deep in this pose. Good. Planting the back foot, bringing the toes to the front of the mat. Bring yourself up, warrior two. So front knee is bent, back leg is straight. Your hand is over your gaze. We're just holding. Feel the burn if you feel it. Means it's working. Sink a little deeper if you can. Good. And then elbow to knee for extended side angle, or if you want to drop your hand down, you could sink a little bit further, deeper, and hold. Again, whatever option feels good. And hold and breathe. Good. Come back up to your warrior two. Drop the back hand, flip the front palm into your peaceful warrior. Reaching back. Keep the front knee bent. Back up to warrior two. Straighten both legs. Cartwheel the arms so that your feet are, front foot is pointed towards the top of the mat, and then you're lowering yourself down over the straight leg. Relax into this pose. Should feel a nice, beautiful, deep stretch from the top of your toes all the way up your leg. Our left leg and our right leg is straight. If you need blocks, you can always use those to lift yourself up, get yourself closer to the mat. Good. And then bending the front knee, take the left hand up for a twist. And then float the left hand over towards the right side of the left foot. And then come a little bit wider with your hands. Take your left leg and swing it all the way back up, three-legged dog. Once more. Finish as we started. Bending the left knee. Hold. Good. Straighten the left leg, lower down to the mat. Let's do a little quick flow, bringing our body forward to our high plank position. Let's just lower our knees and then slowly lower our body all the way down. We do a little chaturanga. Bring yourself up to a baby cobra or upward dog. So if we're doing a baby cobra, we're just lifting ourselves up. Or upward facing dog, we're pushing ourselves up. And then downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Good. Left leg goes up, three-legged dog. Squeezing the right glute. And then bending the left knee, opening up the hip. Lifting the right knee high. Letting the left heel sink into the mat. Keep your shoulders square. Good. Straighten the right leg. And then we're going to bring the right foot forward to the right side of the mat and then sink down. So we're in our runner's lunge, only instead of having both hands on either side of the foot, we have both in, almost in a lizard pose, but we're not dropping the knee or coming down lower. We're keeping our back flat. Good, then from here we drop the back foot with the toes pointed over towards the wall, and then you're going to reach yourself all the way up for your warrior two. Relax your shoulders. Just breathe. Keep your gaze over your right hand. Good. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze your core nice and tight. It's just switching over to one side. Into extended side angle. Dropping the right hand, bringing the left arm up. Or again, you can straighten the right hand, let it go all the way down to the mat or the ground. Feeling the burn in your legs. Just breathe through it. And lifting yourself up back to your warrior two. This is challenging. It means you need it. Drop the back hand, flip the front palm, peaceful warrior. Keep bending the front knee. And breathe. Good, slowly make your way back up to your warrior two. Then you can straighten the front leg, cartwheel the arms, and let both hands fall just over your straight right leg. Both legs are straight. The back foot didn't really move much. If you feel like you needed to adjust your movement to get into a better stretch, you can. There's good technique, but everybody's body is going to look different in these poses. Good, and then placing both hands to the inside once more of your right foot. Then you could shimmy your right foot around. You could bring your back heel lifted, and then use your strength to lift your right leg all the way up, three-legged dog. Good, finishing as we started. So bending the right knee, let it be heavy. And then dropping the right leg down, come into a flow or your child's pose, chaturanga, upward dog or cobra, and then downward facing dog. Good, lift the heels, bend the knees, jump, hop, or step to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, up onto the shins, flat back. Roll the shoulders, dropping down, forward fold. Bend the knees, rise to stand, reach up. Float your hands all the way down. Good, take a deep breath here. Let's go into our squat. So you can start just by bringing your heels about shoulder width apart and sink all the way down. Now, this is going to look different on everybody once again. Your elbows are pushing your knees back, sitting up nice and tall, chest forward. Just breathe. Good, it might be easier as well. Sometimes you might want to sit all the way down. You can sit down onto your hips. Good, just find the comfortable spot for you. Good, in your Malasana squat. Good, come on up, shake it out. Bring your feet wide. Float yourself down to your wide-legged forward fold, bending your knees, and then walking both hands over towards the right side, and then over to the left side, bending the left knee, and then bending the right knee. Trying to keep that opposite leg straight. Keep breathing, let your head be heavy. Good, come up onto your fingertips. Carry both hands over towards your left leg. Pivot your feet forward, bending your right knee, left knee. Swinging the left leg back into your high plank. Lifting your hips all the way up, downward dog. Walk out your downward dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees, jump, hop, or step. Top of the mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Bend the knees, rise to stand. Reach up, look up. Bring your hands down to center. Open back up into your wide-legged stance. Floating yourself all the way down once more. And then bending over towards the right foot. Bringing both hands over towards the right. Carry them over to the left. Again, over to the right. Again, over to the left. Turning towards the opposite foot. Bending all the way down deep. And extend. Bring yourself back to center. Heel toe your feet all the way to touch. Go down into your forward fold. Walk out your forward fold with your feet together. Good, and then lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Good, take a deep breath in, rolling yourself all the way down, giving yourself a head to toe stretch. Bring both feet all the way up. Grab onto the outside of your feet, rocking side to side in your happy baby. Good. And then relaxing down just for a moment, or as long as you want, in your Shavasana. Take this time for you. Be aware in the present moment. Take this time to just be by yourself and be okay with being by yourself. This is an individual journey that we are on. No one can relate to what we are going through, to what we're thinking. Everybody's experience, everyone's life journey is so unique and it is so different. That's why it is so important to learn who you are. The more you learn who you are, the more you can learn the tools and the things that you could do in order to release any stress or anxiety that the outside world might cause you. And know that the love that we can share to others is the love that we see that is within us. Keep breathing. Close your eyes. Relax every part of your body. And then if you'd like to close this practice with me, you can start to sit up. But if you would like to stay and do a meditation, please do. I hope that this has truly made you feel better. Just know that every experience is just a passing moment. Come back to your breath, come back to your movements, come back to the realization that everything is going to change, everything is going to work out, everything is serving you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.